Now, almost was not going to make this video, because you Ford people are going to be all over me, but that's all right. The truck started acting up a little bit last few weeks. Idle's real high, it won't idle down. Going down the road, sometimes it'll start hesitating like it's trying to open, making a almost like it's running out of fuel. I thought it was map sensor, which is this piece right here. So I've already changed that out. And I'm thinking it's probably this little dude right here. It's an idle air control valve. That's what they call it. Alright, because it says if this is bad, it will it won't idle down. The oil pressure will be abnormally high, which it is. You see that thing right there? It's supposed to move back and forth. It won't even move. So, the handy dandy parts store, I think has them. New one looks just like that. $52. But gotta have my truck clean this off, and I put a rag down over here because there's oak leaves blowing everywhere. I don't want oak leaves down in the carburetor. That old gasket only appeared to be half of it there. So that might have been the problem. Let's see. It's dirty in there. We're going to spray a little bit of carburetor cleaner in it. Clean it out a little bit. I just came back from town a little while ago. I had to go to the post office. And the idle, put it in park, the idle is so high, it's up right at 1500 RPMs, which is way too much. I don't want to let it go any longer. See if I can get around there and see in it. Yeah, ain't nothing to see really. Now, directions, and yes, I do read directions when it comes to my truck. You have to measure from here to here, and if it's more than 1 1/8 inches, it's you have to adjust it. But this is a little bit less than that. It's right at 1 inch, so I think it'll be okay. Let's see, now we're gonna just screws in there like this. Very careful not to cross thread anything. Now if this was a Ford, you'd probably have to take it into the dealer and all that kind of stuff. But Ford stay in the dealership all the time anyway, so. Yeah. That's tight, hand tight. Don't want it over tight. Give it just a little bit more. Okay, that's good. Now it is an electric switch, and of course my little keeper hickey do things there fell off. And see how this one's got a slot in it, and they're slotted differently? That means they'll only fit one way. Okay, that one fit just like that. Let's hope. Now if it doesn't reset automatically, there's a reset process I have to do. That's just driving it down the road. We're gonna see what that does. It's got a little extra little keeper on it here, but it's broke too. I may wind up having to get another connector if it won't stay still. This should be okay. That's an old truck, 1995. Best thing about it is paid for. It's in good shape. And I can still work on this one for the most part. Alright, let's get her cranked up. See what happens. Well, by George, I think it's fixed. I'm hearing a noise like a vacuum leak. Now that'll happen when you don't plug the vacuum hose back in. Alright, at idle, it's running about right at probably about 900 RPMs. Since I replaced that part, see it's pulling it down a little bit. Which the book says 600 to 800, so I'm happy with that. Now, all we need now is a little bit of normal maintenance. I've had this truck 5 years now, 6 years now. I've never changed the fuel filter. Changed the plugs and plug wires when I got it. And before that, my son had it for 10 years. I know he never changed the fuel filter. That's something that needs to be done every now and again. So we'll get the normal maintenance done on it. Of course, oil change, transmission fluid change, all that kind of stuff. And it'll be ready to tackle forwards on the highway. Now, while I got the camera on, let me show you what I went and done. I pulled me a bucket full of turnip greens out of the garden. So guess what's for supper? Well, okay, just thought I'd make that little short one. Oh, I know what. I was going to tell y'all about what I overheard in Lowe's the other day. Set this right here. Don't y'all love my camera work? Well, in the garden department, this guy had him a bunch of tomatoes and broccoli and all kind of plants, the plants they sell there. Had a whole bunch of them there, and he asked this kid, I say kid, maybe 20 years old. He was buying some stuff, and he said, is it too early to plant all this kind of stuff here? And the kid says, oh no, you're in Florida now. And he said, you can plant anytime you want to. And I was listening to them. They talked back and forth a little bit. And I got up behind him at the register, and I asked the young guy, I said, how long you lived here? 3 years. I said, where'd you come from? Somewhere up north. I said, you lived here 3 years? He said, yeah. I said, that's cool. Well, I didn't tell him that the last 3 years here in this part of Florida, northwest Florida, March is the coldest month. Now, normally. I've got pictures of me and my cousins standing beside a snowman, big as we were, in March. And if I remember right, that was in 1973 when we had the big snow. But it does happen. And we always, before Easter, we have a heavy frost. That's why most people don't plant anything except maybe a few greens and stuff like that, or English peas, until Good Friday. Yeah, after Good Friday, now there's not supposed to be any more frost, no more cold weather. It'll come a cool snap, but not cold. But just because we're in Florida does not mean it don't get cold. It happened the last 3 or 4 years. Oops, sorry about that. The last 3 or 4 years, it hadn't got all that cold, and it's been okay to plant early if you wanted to. But I've got a sneaking suspicion for my peas, green beans, okra, all that kind of stuff. And I'm going to wait. I'm waiting until Good Friday. And I've got I might plant some more greens or something like that. Especially my tomatoes. I've worked too hard to keep them alive and get them going from seed. I'm not planting until Good Friday. But I just want to share that with you. Be careful of who you talk to in stores, especially if you're new to an area. Because especially around here, you'll talk to somebody that has no idea what they're talking about. So just be careful about that. Now I got to wash these greens and get them cut up and get them ready for the stew pot. Thank y'all for watching. Thank you for your support, and I will see you later.